Hi, I'm Runbuck with Runbuck on Games. Got another breakdown or a testing of a deck within Clash Royale. You can go to the link of the prior deck that we're tweaking. There's a card for it. But this deck, what we're switching out is we put in an Inferno Tower over a Tesla to try to get a little bit more resistance to high health units, and it seemed to have worked. The win percentage went up. We'll show you the stats for that at the end of this, but let me first go through two canned attacks from my recent set. And then, heck, I might even do one live, just for funsies. So let's get to it. So here's the activity log. I guess we'll just go to the first one here, 1 2 to 1. Let's see what happened, and I'll talk through some of the things that I remember points-wise, and then I'll post other notes as well from the overall. I think I did almost 60 attacks with this deck that I logged, so you can take a look at those too. Let's speed it up here a little bit, 2 times. I was holding there because I really didn't have an opening card, so when you don't have that, you kind of got to work your deck. I call it the deck shuffle to try to get the cards you are foundationing off of, like Barbarian Spear Goblin or Baby Dragon Loon, those type of attacks. If you're going to open, try to open with those, try to keep your deck in order with that, but then you kind of got to freestyle a little bit and react to what's going on. And so you can see here that late stage push, I think it was Barbarian Spear Goblin, was actually what took out his tower. It's a level 9 base, so it was pretty good. Hog Riders and this princess. I still do not have a princess. I guess I'm just basically not going to ever have one. I've had plenty of magical chests, and there is no magic for me. But the princess caused a little bit of issues, but the poison being used defensively is also a great aspect of this deck. It really slows down the Mass Effect type attacks like you saw there, and then the Inferno doing its job against the high health unit there. So you can see all the pieces kind of working. A freeze with the Inferno protecting it, allowing it to work down the Hog Rider is also something I was doing late stage within the series of attacks that I was doing. And so he's pushing through. I think he's going to end up taking this base, yeah, because it was 2 to 1. But with that push, he kind of overextended in one lane and really weakened him up on the top side there, allowing me to take him out 2 to 1. And then 5 4 3 2 1. And our man, that his name shall not be named, goes down. So that's one of them. Let's take a look at one more for funsies. As you see here, that actually, I think I went 14 and 4 in this last set here. Give you a sense for the win percentage of that victory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 and 1, 7, 7 and 3, 8, 9, 10. So 10 and 4, 12 and 4, 13 and 4, 14 and 4, 15 and 4. And then you could do 15, yeah, so 15 and 4. And that's about what it averages around a 75% win rate. The stats I'll show you is actually, I quit taking stats at the end of a bad run. I was like tired because I started overplaying actually the foundational attacks and not freestyling enough off of the what's being played and what's in hand, and it drove me into a losing streak. So be careful with that. You gotta not only focus on getting your card shuffle to get your core combinations in order, but you got to also respond to what's being played on the field, and if there's an opening there for like a solo loon attack off the off lane, you got to take it. And once I started to do that, then I rallied back. But let's look at one other one, and then well, not the draw. Why don't we look at Poi 90? Let's see what happens here. He's got a legendary card in his stack. Come on, Poi. 2 times speed, buddy. Once again, notice I don't really have a good opening, so I'm waiting. I'm going off defensive, so when he drops the P.E.K.K.A, I know what I'm going to do. So we go to Inferno. He drops that. 2 minions, so I try to keep the Inferno up with the Dragon, which puts my card sets out of order, right? So now I've dropped my Dragon without my Loons, so that's out of order. I do get the Barbarian Spear Goblins going, and we'll get a little damage off that before she drops. And then we'll go Inferno again on the defensive. There, but see, at this point I'm actually trailing. No, I'm ahead a little bit from that ding I got with the Barbarian push up here on the top lane. And so here I'm still out of order. See how that simple drop of the baby dragon early, which I think was important. We needed to not let that high health unit drive through the Inferno, but it really has kept the baby dragon loon combo off the field for most of the game. And so what I'm really fighting through with is one hit by the Barbarian. It's just that Barbarian Spear Goblin just played him off patiently. So here we finally have got him back together. Worked out, he misplayed the minions there, and then I go with freeze. He freezes counter. I go Inferno. When he double HPs it, triple HP. Look at that. From each lane he's coming. So I was able to hold this off. Pretty tough push that he's actually driving through. And here comes another high health unit. I got the... So the Inferno comes down. The Dragon works the Dark Prince. How did I win this war? Jeez, oh Pete. So there's the baby dragon pushing. Oh, and then for the close, the cornerstone attack. Baby Dragon Loon. Good night, Irene. That was actually a good one. All right, so let's do one live just for fun, to see if I stress out. All right, so let's read the deck. We're reading the deck. We're freestyling. We're looking for foundation. We're card shuffling. So there's the opening. And with that, usually I'll go early because it's a lighter unit. So, and we'll probably usually poison it because you can't get too much trouble with that as long as we get those minions in there. They're pretty nicked up. So see, poison's nice because if you get a lot of area of effect off that, if you can get buildings and units and the tower, I use poison a lot just as an opening. If it's an off shuffle to start, I'll drop the poison right away. So now we got Baby Dragon and Loon. We got that combo coming up. He's dropped the Inferno, which is going to make it a little more difficult, but I think we got to go for it anyway because we're crazy like that, and we're going to freeze off that if we have to. Hold, 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 hold. There we go. So we'll take that out. Wow, this is the longest flight time for a balloon ever. That's what he's thinking too. Oh, I just got my stuff out of order. See, that was dumb. See, now my spear goblins are getting in front of my barbarians. And he counters with a Valk. That's... So we'll drop the we're getting ready to drop the poison. See how the mass is coming in? So we'll put the poison down. Use that to keep those level 9 minions. Oh, yes. Goodness. That's powerful. So we got 13, 92, and 14. So we've got both lanes kind of nicked up. We can go either side. I've got the Baby Dragon Loon combo, one of my cores, ready to go. And I got the defensive Inferno. So I'm in good position right now. So let's see what he does. Oh, he's forcing me to go early. So the Inferno is usually how I counter this. I don't know if I'll get it down though. Come on, Dragon. Ugh. We gotta do that. We can't let him beat us to death. But see, it went from being pretty good to not good at all. And the Inferno, that mortar combination is kind of tough for this deck. I'll be the first to admit it. Oh dang, man. So poison's another thing that I'll use in that situation. 30 seconds left. We'll hold the loons. We're going to do a catch-up loon play here. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. Oh, and he lands the rocket shot. Impressive. So we'll go with our light troops off quick. See if we get lucky. He's playing back. See if we get that Inferno down. That'd be great. Oh man, really? And the closing loss. Cry. So notice though when that went to hell is when he got that Inferno down, and that's actually one of the combinations I've been losing to is the Inferno Mortar. It's kind of hard to push through, and he was doing a good job of dropping the skeleton set in front of it to distract my Inferno and not get it to lock. Such is life. So there you go. That's why it's not 100% decks like that. So let's take a look at the stats before we wander off, as I promised. Here is the win-loss by level. Let's see here. Yeah. So overall, you can see the win percentage on this was 58% in total. So it's a slow climber if you're not. But keep in mind that includes the stretches where I wasn't doing as good a job freestyling, versus like that one set where I went like 15 and 5. But when you are playing well, I think it's more like a 65% deck overall. And here's the big key, is because that includes as I reach more like 2,500. If you look at the win-loss by deck level of your opponent, it actually is tracking at 68% win percentage against level 8. 50% against level 7. I think that's because level 7 runs a lot of small decks, and this deck with the Inferno and the air, 2 cards for air, it has a little more trouble with that. But because of the fact that most of your opponents within the up to around 2,600, 2,550 are going to be level 8, this deck does really well to get you to around 2,500, but then it kind of tapers out, and I would switch to a different deck, and that's what I'm going to be investigating now, is like a deck that does better beyond the 2,500 level, and maybe try to pull something from that. But 68%, and that's as you can see, 50 of my battles of 78 total, something like that. I forget how many total I had. Total attacks 77. So 50 of them were level 8, and that's where we had the 68% win percentage. So the only other thing is the 3-star rate, I guess, and it was at, nothing too impressive. 50% on a Town Hall 10. Don't know how I did that. Maybe the guy gave up. 8% out of the level 8 category, so 1 out of 10 maybe at best, and 1 out of 12% for the level 7s. But the big story here is the 68% win percentage against peer bases, and I think that's the stat we need to be looking at more, is how do you do against the town halls at your level? Because that's really the fair matchup and the measure of skill. And 68% is the highest we've seen so far, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Hope it helps you guys, and I'm off to a new deck. So if you want to comment in the below on what you think I should run, feel free, or otherwise I'm going to take a look at the ones that beat me and pick one. Talk to you later.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. 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 What? I like my horn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.